Brookline! Hi everyone, welcome to the Juneteenth block party. Let me hear you make some noise. Thank you. My name is Zaria Katakashian Jones, and I am one half of Brookline for the Culture, a community group dedicated to fostering culturally inclusive dialogue and events here in Brookline, just like Juneteenth. I am thrilled to welcome y'all to the Juneteenth block party, held again at the Florida Ruffin Ridley School. The school was renamed after the efforts of Black and brown children in our community, and it honors Florida Ruffin Ridley, a trailblazing African-American civil rights activist. Their leadership highlights the importance of young voices in the ongoing fight for social justice. Supporting these young leaders is essential for fostering a more equitable society. As we celebrate Juneteenth, we not only commemorate the end of slavery, but also recognize the ongoing struggle for freedom and equality and the remarkable efforts of our young leaders to make history right. So please give a round of applause for all of the incredible Black and brown children that helped lead the charge in changing the name of this school. This year, when our team of organizers came together, we decided to center the event around Black women. Black women have been the backbone of our communities and are the bedrock of our progress. Yet, our voices are often overlooked and excluded from vital conversations. This must change. Women like Coretta Scott King not only stood beside her husband, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but also played a pivotal role in shaping its direction. After his assassination, Coretta continued to fight tirelessly for racial and economic justice, women's rights, and LGBTQ+ rights at a time when it was not popular to do so. She founded the King Center and campaigned for 15 years to establish Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a national holiday. Let's also celebrate other Black women who deserve some recognition. Ida B. Wells, a pioneering journalist and activist, led an anti-lynching crusade in the United States in the 1890s. Her investigative journalism shed light on the horrific realities of racial violence in the United States. Fannie Lou Hamer, a leader in the civil rights movement, co-founded the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party and fought for Black voting rights. Shirley Chisholm, the first Black woman elected to the United States Congress and the first woman to run for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination. She famously said, quote, "If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair," unquote. Her legacy inspires generations of women and minorities to pursue political careers and power even today. Their contributions have been monumental in shaping our society today, yet they often remain unrecognized. We must listen to Black women and honor their accomplishments and continue the fight for equality for all. Frederick Douglass once said in his famous "What to the Slave is the 4th of July" speech, "This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, I must mourn." Today, we celebrate Juneteenth to honor our ancestors' struggles and triumphs and to remind ourselves of the ongoing fight for freedom and equality.
What are you doing here?
I'm serving the community.
I, at the moment, am holding down the fort for the women who are responsible for handing out the T-shirts. There are T-shirts that everybody will have a chance to have one. It says 1865. As everyone should know, it's Juneteenth, 1865, is when General Granger, who was a general in the Union Army, went from Washington, D.C. to Galveston, Texas, to carry the word that all slaves in the country were free. When Lincoln passed the proclamation in 1863, unfortunately, slaves couldn't read, slaves couldn't write, and many of them did not get the message that they were freed as slaves. So Granger went across the country, stopping in Galveston, Texas, and freed many of the slaves that were in slave-holding states like Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, and so on and so forth.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound high as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of the new days begun. Let it march on till victory is won.
My business is A-Lynn's African Boutique. A-Lynn's is for Alicia Lynn, my middle name, and everything is made in Ghana, Africa. My husband is a Ghanaian. That's where the auto came from. I pick out the material, and I have a seamstress that makes all of these. This year will be 3 years that I've had this boutique. Where I'm back from in Worcester, I was seeing a bunch of events going on, and when I started going to Ghana, I was like, oh, wow, I can make a business. I could start a business back in America, because a lot of Americans can't get to Africa, so I can bring Africa to America. So that's what I did.
Nevada Creations was established with an intention and a purpose to marry, mental health and skincare. If I can get up in the morning and just wash my face and put a moisturizer, I consider that a step in the right direction. Because 2020 was a rough year for everybody, especially for folks who were battling mental health. And I look at it as self-care is self-love, is all encompassing that as well. So my brand is all about the intents of purposes to make people love themselves wholly and beautifully, because they are beautifully made.
So when I was younger, I grew up in Haiti. I didn't have adults that looked like me, and I used to always want my hair to be different. It wasn't until afterwards I started liking my hair, and then I think it's important for us to have adults that represent us. Yes, because representation matters.
I actually started designing clothes for myself because there weren't a lot of options for plus size people at that time, about 10 years ago. And then I just wanted to do it for everybody. So it just evolved into a brand, and I didn't want to just have clothes. So I started a pop-up boutique instead where you could get the whole look. This is like a journey that never ends. It's constant. Business is up and down, so it takes a lot of tenacity. And I think that young people should be inspired to be entrepreneurs because it's so great to be your own boss.
I think a lot of the times in the younger generations, I know social media is such a big influence and they follow trends, but I think being an artist is about following yourself and following your passion and figuring out where you fall in line as an artist, but also realizing that you don't have to put yourself in a box. and you can try different things until you find what feels good to you.
Would you be interested in mentoring kids who maybe want to get into like crafts like this or a business like this?
So I'm actually going to be starting workshops probably starting in July. This has been a constant question for me, so I'm just trying to find the time, but I'm making it a priority now, this summer, because I really feel like my work speaks to people and it's really moving to me. So I really would love to teach kids how to also find it in themselves, because they need it nowadays. They need to find those things to stay off social media and find out what's important to them. So I feel like being an artist, doing things that can inspire the youth is definitely something I'm interested in moving into. So for sure.
As someone who's part of the Black diaspora, I feel like Juneteenth, it holds cultural value to all of us because this was a day that marked a massive win for not only Black Americans but in American history too, because it marked the end of slavery, which we all know is morally disgusting. So I feel like with the end of this marked a turning point in American history, and I feel like this was around the time where a lot of Black people started to gain opportunities and stuff. So, and as a Haitian person, I feel like Juneteenth really resonates with us too, because a lot of the history of Haitians and African Americans in general, we tend to have a shared history because we were all stolen from Africa and brought to America, to the Americas on slave plantations. So I feel like this is something that Black people alike, we can all resonate to because it's a shared history, this is shared generational trauma. So the fact that we're able to bond here, we're able to congregate here, and we're able to celebrate, so to be able to celebrate 159 years, I say, of emancipation, that's a blessing in and of itself, and it's a pleasure to honestly be here and commemorate that.
Today, we gather to honor Juneteenth, a day that is sacred and a profound representation of freedom. This year's theme, Black women, Black mothers, freedom, what are you enslaved by, what freedoms, invites us to reflect on the complex nature of freedom and the ongoing struggles we face. As a Black woman standing before you, I have known the taste of freedom, yet I often still feel bound by unseen chains. These are the realities that accompany my identity, my history, and my daily experiences. I want to share with my neighbors here in Brookline that I should not have to feel that way. No one should. I am the proud mother of 8 beautiful Black young men and women. It is the most important job I have ever had, but also the hardest. And you may wonder why this crucial role is so challenging. The answer is because we are Black in America. Juneteenth is a celebration of our emancipation, yet fear and anxiety continue to shadow our lives because our experiences are profoundly different than our neighbors. We often can't walk while Black, drive while Black, and in my case, most recently, campaign while Black without being disparaged. Even as we rejoice today, we must acknowledge the ongoing struggle for true freedom, a struggle against prejudice and systemic barriers that still enslave us in many forms. Today, I am thrilled to celebrate with you all. However, I must also speak to the reality of being Black in America. Black women, we assert ourselves and are often mischaracterized as the angry Black woman if our expressions do not conform to others' expectations. This harmful stereotype silences us, dismisses our lived experiences. It is a reminder that despite our advancements, the full embrace of our humanity is still a work in progress. As we celebrate, I call on Brookline community to not only join us in this celebration, but to actively embrace us as your neighbors, your friends, and your equals. I urge you to teach your children to share with your friends the truth that we are equal. Juneteenth is a powerful reminder of our heritage and the long journey toward freedom, but every day should be a celebration of equality, freedom, and inclusivity. Let us strive to make every day a reflection of the values we honor today: freedom, respect, and unity. By doing so, we can ensure that the spirit of Juneteenth resonates throughout this year, creating a community where every individual feels equally free and truly welcome. Thank you for being here today, for celebrating with us, and for your commitment to a future where freedom is not just a historical milestone, but a lived reality for all. Happy Juneteenth.